Alex Wyche, CEO of Final Minority Baseball Softball Prospects, man. Fifth episode of New Negro Leads podcast. No better place right here. We at the legendary Rickwood Field, Birmingham, Alabama for our middle school All-American game, man. So you know we had to get a podcast in, man. Who I'm here with?
You got Reginald Hollins, President, Minority Prospects here.
Ty Wyche, VP, Creative Director, here at the famous Rickwood.
Hey, man, we here in Rickwood Field, Negro Leagues. Man, how does it feel, man? We out here chilling. We got 80 kids, middle school kids here just to learn the history, because at the end of the day, we're not just trying to create events. We want to make sure we create history, let them understand where we came from. But also, man, this is dope, man. You know, MLB just redone the field, so they got a chance to see it firsthand, man. How does it feel, the aura of being here in Rickwood, man?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question for me and yourself. We both played here in our college days, man. We had an opportunity to play here. So for me, man, just the nostalgia of the place being built in 1910 and seeing some of the greatest players in the world, you know, black, brown, purple, whatever color, but just some of the greatest players in the world, and gracing the same field and stadium with those guys, second to none. So I'm just excited to share this experience with so many young middle school families so that they can kind of learn the history and, you know, motivate themselves and their peers to be the best as these guys were.
For me, it's amazing. I was actually here for the first game that MLB did around Juneteenth, and it was amazing. It was amazing atmosphere. You had the old school music, the dancing, the dressing, the way they dressed back then. It was it just gave you the whole feel as like you was back in the day, actually a part of it. That's the feeling that MLB did. And also big shout out to Uninterrupted. The Fam Jam hosted by CC Sabathia. They had a great celebrity softball game that on Juneteenth, actually the day before the game. I think that experience was amazing. Had a performance by Metro Boom, and it just felt so good to see the new culture versus the old culture all in one field collectively. You had fans from kids all the way to 70, 80 years old came out to that event on Juneteenth, and I think for them it was special, especially for those guys that was that old, 60 and 70, that was actually seeing the games here, and to see it being brought back to life with the younger generation putting their spin on it. And I think those guys, I talked to a lot of older guys, and the experience for them was phenomenal. Like, they couldn't believe it.
So when we talk about minority prospects, man, and actually we're the trendsetters, man, just being honest, for the generation of the last 5 years, man, I think we've changed the game of not just black baseball, just the way people post and excitement and trying to grow fanfare in the game. I think we're one of the pillars in the baseball and softball community for the last 5 years and creating that change. If you look at how MLB post right now, if you look at how Perfect Game post, they just did a video. Everybody was been commenting on Facebook with Dexter McCleon, where he coming out, they got that hype, that cool feel. How does it feel to be here and being in the Negro Leagues and knowing that they was packing out stadiums and it was the biggest black business while it was going on? And right now we fighting to go watch football, but baseball was that once you get out of church, you're going to watch baseball, right? So how does it feel to be on that forefront right now as minority prospects, the leaders in the baseball and softball community, creating change like this? How does it feel, being a pillar of the company and creating change around the country?
I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I think it's a blessing that the three of us get the opportunity to crack at it and continue the legacy that a lot of these, greats paved, that started here at Woodwood. Willie Mays, to name a few. But when you talk about the legacy that these guys started and the impact of, carrying over a church service to come to the baseball game. Those are the type of things that we all talk about in our meetings, man. We talk about making sure that we can intertwine not only the actual event, not only the actual game, but the community. They had the community. And that's one thing that we are continuing to really figure out to really revive this game back in the minority community, man. We're pulling the community in and actually making them intrigued in the sport, learning about the sport, actually knowing what's going on, what they're watching. Those fans back in the day, man, they knew the game. Sure. They could keep a scorebook like no other. They could coach it. Those guys were really students of the game in the fan zone. So that's what we're really trying to create when we're talking to these parents, talking to all of the supporters, just trying to make sure that these fans are really engaged in what's going on and having true knowledge of the history of the game.
Yeah, I think Reggie pretty much hit on all topics with that. For me, I think it's more so about keeping the game alive and keeping the legacies alive and letting these kids know who paved the way before them. So for me as a company, I think for us, we are creating that legacy where we are not only bringing different flair and different swag to the game, we also teaching the game to not only the kids playing, just to everybody around the world. Like, this is what paved the way for us to be able to do this, and the adversity and opposition that those guys had to go through before you should appreciate the game more. So for us, that's my goal, is to have them appreciate the game and go hard at it, because, I mean, this game, Reggie Jackson talked about it here on this field, man, the stuff he had to go through back in 1967, and for these kids not to be able to hear that and take that into consideration, it's amazing. So for us as a company, I think we're doing a great job in creating that legacy and also teaching the game from the past to the present and bringing that swag and that flair back to it.
Man, again, we here at the legendary Rickwood Field. For you guys, man, we just did a quick little meet and greet. For you guys to see the best middle schoolers and us 5 years in, from year 1 to year 5, we're able to pull in the best players in the country. How did that feel to be able to see these kids from around the country that come to our brand, and they don't know it from left to right, but you know the brand is strong enough that they'll come around the country to come to our events?
I think one of the coolest things about when you get these kids together here at these events, man, is something you highlighted during our orientation with them. You told them, have fun, enjoy the moment. I think that's the thing I love about this middle school group, man. They have fun, they're passionate, they're going to leave it all on the field. And just to see that and just see them develop through the ranks, man, and go on and, you know, go to college level, go to the pro level, or be successful just in the real world in general, and know I'm at this age, man. That's what I enjoy, to see their path, see their trajectory.
Yeah, for me, Alex brought up a good point during the meet and greet. I think enjoying the process, enjoying this time, not so much all business, just being a kid, having fun, seeing your other peers that look like you that are playing the same game that you're playing and is passionate about it. I think for me, that's the biggest thing for me, to see the passion at such a young age and them having fun. And then to create bonds and friendships. Like these kids come from all over the world. A lot of time they're the only minority, maybe one or two on that team that they come from. So putting them all in one circuit, in one place for a phenomenal weekend of events and hosts and meet and greets and home run derby skills challenge, and then the game, I think it's phenomenal. I think that's my biggest takeaways from all of these events, and then watching them grow and become young men to grown men, and just using this sports and baseball as a tool. We want to create, another thing I want to bring up is I really want to create great minority men on and off the field. So I think that's not talked about enough. Like, I think our company is trying to create great men, not just great ball players, but great minority men, and hopefully get inspiration from us and other great men to reach back once you get to a certain level and share that knowledge and gain to the people that paved the way before you and share it to the kids that's coming up under you. I think that's my biggest thing, because when we're dead and gone, we hope minority prospects still have a legacy and live on. So that's my biggest thing that I would love to see.
Yeah, just piggybacking on that before I go to this next question real quick, Ty, I think our blueprint of what I really want to do is, just like the Negro League is change the whole communities, right? From school system to the economic dollar. When we come into a city like the Circuit, we want to be able to pump in thousands and thousands of dollars. And when they know minority prospect coming to Birmingham, it's going to be $1 million that's going to come through Birmingham, right, through the city. So that's how we know money talks. That's how you make change. So when we go to every city, every minority city, we want to make sure to bring the economic impact that can change from the education to jobs to supporting black businesses. All right, moving into some more cool, man. We in the Negro League shop where people are buying Negro League memorabilia. Let's talk about swag, man. The Negro League swag. We know that the black culture is the biggest impact on everything from music to sports to fashion. I think one of the biggest things we've done to change the narrative and have people looking at us with Adidas and just branding is our fashion, man. Where are we going with our fashion, and what's our goal fashion-wise to change the way baseball players are looked at? Because we want guys to wear Adidas or minority prospect shoes just like they wear Jordan. Or we want them to wear minority prospects shirts and jackets just like they wear Gucci and different things like that. Right, so how are we going to get to that as our VP of the company, but also our merch?
Want to elaborate on it, Reg? For me, we get there by just collectively creating timeless pieces. I think for me, it's about creating pieces that are in style now that the kids are wearing, but just putting our own flair to it. And creating something that the kids want to wear and want to be like. For me, I think the reason why Jordan brand and Gucci and all of those other brands are so predominantly taking over as our culture is buying that, I think it stems from it just being cool and something to wear. So I think for me, so the reason why they wear those brands, I feel like it's no different. It's a T-shirt, it's a collar shirt, it's stuff with all G's on it in textile form. I mean, if we make the same cool stuff with MVP or MSP and those same textiles and that same material and quality of garment, I think we could change anybody and make them a believer of what we wearing and the culture behind it. I think it's, for one, it's durability. It's gotta feel good. It's gotta be good garment. 2, it's gotta look good, and 3, it's who's wearing it. You know what I'm saying? For us, we gotta get it into the right hands, make the right garments, and just once they fall into the line of believing in minority prospects nationwide and seeing it's a cool brand and good garments and great people wearing it, I think the success in the fashion world for us will go through the roof. Because I honestly believe that we are the culture and we influence everything. We influence designer brands, we influence non-designer brands. So it just take the right person and the right legacy and branded clothing, and I think we could change the game in that, man. Our own cleat, our own sneaker, hats, man. Getting the best of the best hats, new era, Adidas bringing us on and touching on the culture aspect, man, and make our own. I think the sky's the limit. We just, get. We getting those big brands to believe in us and just seeing where we can go with it, man. I'm excited actually to see where we can go because I believe now we don't have anybody. If we just touching on baseball, we don't have that many players that have their own signature shoes or own signature cleats that these kids can look up to in the minority space. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we need to create that. And that then will push the culture and the swag back into the game because, I mean, baseball, you look at the Negro League swag, man, it's coming back. The varsity jackets with all the patches on it, just Google it. Like, it's full circle moment in fashion. That's how fashion is, man. The Negro League jackets, I think and the jerseys, I think are some of the dopest jerseys and jackets and hats. It is. Like the embroidery, the chenille patches, like you can feel it, like on the jerseys, like that the chenille, like it's all coming back in style. So, I mean, we created that.
Absolutely. I think just to piggyback off Ty, because we just talk and playing all the time. The biggest thing is the right collaborations. The right collaborations can take us to the moon. I know the end result is to have our own, but you also have to climb with the right collabs, the right partnerships. So, with Adidas, being Adidas, man, shout out to Adidas because, once we put that Adidas brand on, man, they paying attention. And I think, that comes from the culture and the swag that we naturally carry. And then they see us as ambassadors, man. And so now it goes out to the world. So, just collabs, more powerful collabs like Adidas, man, it'll take off for our company.
Yeah, man. Again, man, we appreciate everybody, man. New Negro League podcast. I think for me, man, just being middle school All-American game, this is going to be our most talented game for middle schoolers that we've had. I still get butterflies just to see everybody here, man. We had over 200, 300 people that's in one room here for the brand, man. So, biggest brand in the world, man, Minority Prospects, man.
Reggie Hollins, Minority Prospect, signing out. But before I sign out, man, just shout out to my guys right here because a lot of people don't see the work that goes on behind the scenes day to day. A lot of things that it takes to pull off it, man. So just appreciate you, Alex, for your vision, your execution, and appreciate you, Ty. And these guys took me in, they brothers, so I'm in the middle, man, and we rocking, man. And ain't nothing gonna stop us. And we know that, all right? So this is a passion vision for us, and we're going to execute, man. So just shout out to our team, man, and then everybody else that helps, man, and on our staff. So I'm signing out.
Yep, signing out here, Ty Wyche, VP, Creative Director. Just be on the lookout for us. I appreciate all the support. This, like I said, man, this was a vision that my brother brought to me. Something he wanted to do to change the narrative of what's been going on. We needed the right people to do that. So with that being said, Reggie Hollins was one of the right persons to be that person to spearhead this. So I think for me, I feel as if I honestly, I still can't believe it, honestly, because you got, for me, I just want to say, like, you got kids from California, Texas, Midlothian, Texas. I just had a father. Alex just did a series on a dad that had the 42 field. I just talked to a father that lives in Midlothian, Texas, that drove all the way here, 11 hours. And for me, like I say, when I hear stuff like that from something that we created, people driving across country, all over the world, to come to something that we built is still like a pinch moment. Like it's still like surreal, like for me, because it's hard to get people to even believe in what you're doing. It's even harder to get them to support what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's crazy. You get more support from people you meet along the way. You know what I'm saying? And so for that being said, man, you gotta It's no longer like you gotta just make it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? Like keep pushing, make it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? Not fake it, make it till you make it. Just keep going, keep pushing. Don't let nothing stop you. God first on all spectrums. If you take it to Him, everything else will fall in line. I'm a firm believer of that. So, with that being said, man, just follow us on all platforms. MBP Takeover on all social media sites, Minority Prospects TV, MPTV on YouTube, and we just gonna keep going. Make sure you check out the merchandise, minorityprospectstore.com, and make sure you check out the Tales of Swaggy and Sassy. I think it'll be a good hit cartoon series, and we're gonna be telling the story of the Negro Leagues through that cartoon series, and we also going to be telling not just the story. We're going to be telling we're going to be showing how to deal with opposition and adversity, like in sports and in life. Like the cartoon will depict all of that. Like you're not going to win in life every day. You got to learn how to take those losses and get back up and keep going. So just make it till you make it. Minority Prospects, the brand. Just keep growing with us. That's all I ask. Just keep growing it.
Rest in peace, Willie Mays, man. You see him behind us. Enough said about the GOAT.
The New Negro League podcast at the start of the new Negro League, in the start of the old Negro Leagues here in Birmingham. Like, it's a real moment right here, man. Shout out.